What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Kahuna Silver right here on YouTube, man. So I have to discuss this issue because I feel like, this is a disjustice to the Nintendo fan base. So, anywho, I want to go off and start this video by saying I'm highly appreciative of Square Enix bringing over um, Octopath Travelers as exclusive to Nintendo Switch, and The World Ends With You as another exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. I'm highly appreciative of those games. Now, if I can go on to say this, however, I feel like this is a disservice to the Nintendo fan that their most anticipated title on the Switch will not be released until maybe late 2019 or furthermore. Now, hold on. When the hell did I hear Dragon Quest XI getting released late 2019? Well, they didn't specifically give us a time in 2019. All we heard was it's coming much later onto the Nintendo Switch than it is the PlayStation 4 and PC. Now, I made a video earlier, but I had to delete it because one, editing messed up. Two, and I sound like a broken mess on that thing. So let me go ahead and describe the situation to you. In 2015, when the Enix was leaked, and everybody was wondering what the fuck the Enix is, Square Enix opened up their big mouth and said, "Hey, look, Dragon Quest 11 is coming to this thing." I was in 2015. Keep that in mind. We didn't start getting details about Dragon Quest 11 until 2016, and it released last year in Japan for PlayStation 4 and 3DS. Okay, that was quite understandable. I was thinking like maybe when it's time to come to the West, the Switch version will come over along with those two versions too. Well, here's the tricky thing that's going on here. Square is not bringing over the 3DS version, and the Switch version, like I said earlier, is much later. But PlayStation 4 and PC is scheduled to come out in September this year. So, with that out the way, the reason why I'm saying this is a disservice to fans because not only are we the ones who are waiting the longest, but we can't play the game at all until 2019. You heard that correctly. The 3DS version is not even getting localized. So, even though we would have accepted that the Switch version, is not coming out this year, had there been a 3DS version to coincide with the PS4 and PC release. But the bad thing is there was no PC release in Japan. If last time I was memory served, only PS4 and 3DS. That 3DS version is not coming over, so we have to wait until the Switch version in order to play it. Why are we waiting so long? The thing is, if you were to release the 3DS version, that's more pressure taken off of you. Hell, if you haven't said it then back then, and you would have been like, okay, yeah, we're planning on bringing this thing to the Switch now instead of back then pressure would have been off of Square Enix. But the reason why the Nintendo fans are pissed is because they announced this back in 2015. And had they kept their mouth shut, then Nintendo fans wouldn't be mad. Look, we all knew that Dragon Quest XI was going to come to PlayStation 4 as well, but the fact that not only you're holding the 3DS version in Japan, we're waiting so long just to play this game. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, hey, look, it's not that big of a deal. Just play it on PS4. If you really want to play this game, you would play it on PS4. But that's not the thing. And really, the thing is, people already had their mindset on playing it on the Switch ahead of time. Everybody was waiting for information about the Switch version. There's no screenshots, there's no video, there's nothing. It seems like the Square Enix is now starting to develop the Switch version. It could have been a simple down port from, PlayStation 4, but it's not. It's not. It looks like the Square is just now starting to make this game. And sadly, it looks like we may not see this game for about another year or so. And this is crazy because, again, one of the first games announced for the Switch, and it's not coming out until probably another year or so later. It was back in 2015. You would have thought they had something ready for it by now, but it's not. It seems like they're just now starting on it. And it's sad, too, because you know what, man? And people are starting to say, look, Sony had a hand in it, which they did with Monster Hunter World. I'm just saying, they did with Monster Hunter World, but But I ain't gonna put it here because I don't want to hear Sony fanboys saying we're just mad. You're right, we are mad. But you know, when you actually hear the situation and how it's going down, you actually want to start understanding on why people was excited to play this on their Switch. Hey, look, they heard about this 2 years ago, so why are they not getting it? That's crazy, right? So people are starting to believe that Sony had a hand in it because that's how Sony does. Sometimes Sony just put their hand in things they shouldn't be putting their hands in. And people are starting to call foul. You know, people are starting to say Square is only just giving us second-rate games. They're not really supporting us. That's the third party that we've been getting so far, unless you're Sega or Atlas, which are basically developing games for us right now. They have already announced them and already showed us video footage and everything for said games. Unless you're Sega and Atlas, you're the second-rate third party at this point because you're not really supporting the Nintendo Switch with just ports of old games. Like, are you serious? Like, what other new game coming from a third-party developer besides Sega? Only new game that I know that's coming from Square, Octopath Travelers, and Bandai Namco's My Hero Academia. That's the only ones that I know that's coming brand new, fresh off the press. Because, again, we don't know if Ubisoft got something in store for us. I think Ubisoft may be in a happy spot with us because of how well that Mario and Rabbids sold. But again, they kind of cheated that out of us. But you know, if it gets us more third-party support, why not? But this is a main problem that's been going on with the Switch for far too long. So many ports of old games that so many people are believing that this console is not getting nothing brand new. It's never going to get nothing brand new. And now it's about time for it to get something brand new. We're still not getting nothing brand new. That's a problem with the Nintendo Switch at the moment. Third parties are not really supporting us like they should be, but they're only just second rating us. That is a big problem. We should have been, we should have been getting Dragon Quest along with everybody else. Next Call of Duty should have been announced for Switch by now. And I'm pretty sure that 2K is going to bring over NBA again for the Switch because you know what, NBA did do well for the Switch. A lot of people was generally pleased with that port. Wasn't so pleased with WWE. It was too broken. So hopefully they'll bring WWE over this time with the other versions on time and scheduled release and working and functioning this time. But again, man, we cannot just keep supporting these ports, hoping for something new to come, and we keep getting ports. You're short-winding yourselves, third party. You gotta realize that we can't just keep buying these ports. Outlast really haven't Red Barrel Games really haven't announced nothing, but Outlast 1 and 2. There's a Crazy Justice game that's been crowdfunded on Fig.com. That's coming. That's a battle royale game. I'm gonna make a separate video for that. But anywho, we as Nintendo fans, look, I know y'all want third-party support, but how long can we keep taking these ports for third-party support? We need more than just ports. We need actual new games. Hoping E3 this year will change that foundation. This is a problem that's been going on since the Switch launch. There's not really nothing new coming out for us, really. Wolfenstein, Wolfenstein was announced last year. It came out last year for the other systems, but it wasn't announced with the other system. It was announced during a Nintendo Direct. I don't know why the hell Nintendo made them hold off on that announcement. But maybe the game was farther in the but bring up Wolfenstein. That just pissed me off right there. That's crazy that a game that wasn't announced at E3 when it was announced for the other consoles got announced in November and is about to be playable at PAX East. Come on, people, man. Think with your heads. Think smart. So, anywho, it's your boy Kahuna Silver signing out. Before I get any pissed off, I gotta upload this video before I get any pissed off. It's your boy. I'm out of here. Deuces.